guys, welcome back to my channel. Here you'll find healthy recipes and all things eating disorder recovery, lifestyle tips, and more. So if you're into that kind of stuff, stick around. Feel free to subscribe to my channel and like this video if you do. And without further ado, let's get to it. So as you can maybe tell, I am quite nervous for this video because I will be talking about all things periods, hormones, why I'm trying to gain weight. Say what? And that's kind of a really sensitive topic for me, considering I am all about eating disorder recovery and helping other people recover from their eating disorders, and I'm also now offering one-on-one coaching to help people find full food freedom and fully recover from their eating disorders. So I actually felt for a very long time like I could not make this video, because how could someone that is recovered from an eating disorder and that is coaching other people to recover from an eating disorder, how could they need to gain weight? How could they be struggling with periods and hormones and all that kind of stuff? So I felt for a very long time like I could not share this because that doesn't fit the perfect picture of someone who's recovered from an eating disorder and someone who is helping others to do the same. And the truth is, I realized there is no perfect picture, there's never a perfect picture, and recovery is not a static thing. I can be recovered from my eating disorder and still struggle with hormones, and still struggle with anxiety, and still struggle with so many other things that are completely normal to struggle with, because we are all human and we are not perfect. So I decided to make this video in an effort to help you guys, but also in an effort to help myself and to make myself accountable, because I'm about to do something really huge for my body that I know is going to benefit me, and I hope my story in some way and me sharing this with you is also going to benefit you guys in some way. Others, I would obviously not be making this video. Okay, so I am trying to gain weight and I am trying to get my period back, because truth is I have not had my period in over 1.5 years, and that sounds very shocking, I know, and that's because it is shocking. It's shocking to me too, and I feel like I've been trying to do quote-unquote everything to heal my period, but here we are, still no period. Now what? Okay, so anyways, that's just the title of the book I'm reading. But anyways, so as you can tell by the title of this video, I am trying to gain weight. And by looking at me, you will probably not think that I need to gain weight. And in fact, my endocrinologist even advised me that I do not need to gain weight, because my BMI is healthy and my hormones are healthy and everything looks good, so why would I need to gain weight? Well, I'll tell you, and the reason is because I am currently struggling with hypothalamic amenorrhea, otherwise known as HA, and it is a lack of periods caused by improper functioning of the hypothalamus. So again, I'm not a doctor, and everything I will be saying in this video is based on things I have read, things I have read in books, things I've found on the internet from credible sources obviously, and based on my own experience. So just disclaimer, don't take any of this as medical advice. I'm not telling you that this will work for you. I'm just saying what kind of is my plan and what I've learned and how I'm going to put into action how to get my period back. So the reason that I am focusing on gaining weight and trying to get my period back is because I have actually not had a period for almost 1.5 years now. So hypothalamic amenorrhea is caused by imbalance in hormones. And this is caused by stress, and it can be any kind of stress. Eating too little, exercising too much, it can be psychological stress, really any kind of stress, traumatic stress, whatever. When your body perceives stress, this affects your hypothalamus, which is a part of your brain about the size of an almond, so really small, but it's very, very important because it regulates our hormones, and for us women, it regulates also our female hormones, because the hypothalamus sends out gonadotropin hormone. I think that's how you say it. Just like I said, I'm not a doctor. I cannot express these words very good. But anyways, it sends out that hormone, so otherwise known as GnRH. And this stimulates the production of estrogen. But when your body is under too much stress, so like I said, eating too little, exercising too much, psychological stress, worst case scenarios, in most case scenarios, it's a combination of several kinds of stress. The hypothalamus gets into an imbalance and it doesn't send enough GnRH, which halts the production of estrogen, which, as many of you know, is key for periods. When your body is not making enough estrogen, your periods cannot occur naturally, because estrogen is key. It's like the key hormone in causing your periods. But anyways, why would this be such an issue? Like, too little estrogen, like, it's the same, like, some people don't make enough melatonin and then you don't sleep as well and whatever, you're tired. And a lot of people kind of just like skim over the fact that they're not having their periods and think like, oh, well, now I don't have to worry about like all the stuff that comes with periods. But not having your period is really dangerous. So being able to have like babies and fertility aside, hypothalamic amenorrhea and a loss of period is very dangerous. It's associated with bone loss, so like osteopenia and in worst case osteoporosis, hair loss, dry skin, brittle nails, poor sleep, just feeling exhausted, and it can even lead to like dementia and cardiovascular problems. So long story short, you do not want to not be having your period. For the past 1.5 years, I have kind of just been like hoping that my period would come back, because if you guys read my blog post a while ago, 2018, July 2018 was actually the first period I ever got in my life. I was 18 years old. I had just recently come from treatment at Carolina House, and I had gained like 30 pounds from almost dying to my eating disorder. That was like my first period ever, and it was the craziest experience. It was so weird because I was 18 years old and I like thought I would never get a period, but there it was, and that was proof for me that proper nutrition, rest, good sleep, that it was possible for my body to menstruate. And in the beginning was obviously very irregular, because my second period was that same year in November, the day after my 19th birthday actually. So yeah, as you can see, like there was like a couple months difference in there, like 4 or 5 month difference, but I wasn't too worried about it, because I mean, like, I hadn't eaten disorder for a very long time, so my body was really still learning to trust me again, and let alone trust that I could carry another person inside of me, because ultimately your body needs to be able to trust that you can carry a baby, and that's when it will like give you your period. But anyways, November 20th, 2019, I got my second period, and I remember that was also a period of my life where I was experiencing extreme hunger, and I had gained a lot of weight within a short period of time. So you can also read about that blog post. I will link it in the description. But I was very, very insecure in my body at that time, because it was still very recent, the whole recovery thing, and obviously I was feeling amazing mentally, physically, I was sleeping better, but I was really, really struggling with body image. So when I got my period in November of 2019, I kind of saw it as a sign like, oh, look, my body works again, my body trusts me again, it's okay for me to lose weight now. And I know now, looking back, that that was very wrong. And that was still very strongly diet culture and my eating disorder playing into that. But I thought I had kind of like fixed my body and it was now fine to like lose some weight again. So I did that. And yeah, like my weight since then, like it went down a bit, went down a couple pounds, and kind of has stabilized to where it is now. And like now I can eat freely and I can eat whatever I want. And I feel personally like my lifestyle, I don't feel restricted at all. I eat healthy and I also enjoy sweets when I crave them, so I don't feel restricted in any way. But what has occurred to me in the last like year is that I haven't got my period back a third time, and that's pretty worrisome for me. So when I first kind of like realized like this is pretty dangerous and I should do something about this, I scheduled an appointment with my doctor and then went to my endocrinologist. I got my hormones tested and they all came out as normal, like my estrogen, my LH, my FSH, everything came back normal. And my endocrinologist was like, yeah, your BMI is fine, so you should be getting your period. And I also wrote a blog post about BMI not being reliable, so you can read that one as well. It's up on my blog. I will link it in the description as well. And then I was like, you know, I'm not getting my period. She can say like everything's normal, and she was like, yeah, wait a couple more months and you should get your period. But I did that and still no period. So I went back to my doctor, my GP. She prescribed me with the pill, and I have heard people take the pill as kind of like a cure for HA. And was kind of hesitant about it because people said like it's not the solution, but then my doctor explained to me that it was a good way to like jumpstart my period, if that makes sense. Now again, looking back, that was not a smart choice, and I actually only took the pill for like 2 weeks until I called my endocrinologist again because they had run like a genetic test on me, which took like 6 months to get the results back or whatever. And I told her I had started taking the pill, and she told me like, you have to stop immediately. The pill is only a band-aid. It's gonna do more harm than good. And like your body has proven that it can get cycles naturally. So by taking the pill right now and not making any lifestyle changes, that could just like cause more trouble like actually getting my period on my own in the future. So I stopped taking the pill, and we kind of discussed that if I maybe gained some weight. We just talked about like how energy balance plays a huge role in getting your period, because basically what happened is like you can be at a healthy weight and you can be eating enough for your body and you can be exercising healthily and eating enough to maintain your daily activities and fuel your exercise. But if you do not have enough energy in your body and also not enough fat, you do not have enough energy, surplus of energy, fuel more than just your exercise and daily activities, that can be enough to have absent periods because your body, again, is not trusting you enough to get your period. But as I said earlier about that endocrinologist, she was the same one who said your BMI is fine, like you should just get your period within a couple months, just like make some lifestyle changes and you'll be fine. Like it was just very low-key, and that, for me being a perfectionist and needing like ultimate clarity and like kind of always know what I need to do, this was just not helpful for me. So I decided, okay, I'll just wait 2 more months. But then the last couple months, well, like especially the last half year, I'd say, I have been feeling kind of odd, very exhausted during the daytime. I've been sleeping horribly, like horribly, and that could also be related to me stopping taking my melatonin. And I did that because I've been taking melatonin for several years, and I just don't want my body to have to rely on that to sleep. Like I want my body to just do what it needs to do. So stop taking melatonin, but I've just been sleeping so badly, and my period just has not come back since November of 2019. No, what am I saying? November of 2018, because that's when I turned 19. Yeah, November of 2018. So it's been it's been 1.5 years since I haven't had my period, and I was like starting to get worried because I do know the dangers of not having a period, like I just mentioned: brittle bones, brittle hair, skin, nails, dry skin, poor sleep, all that kind of stuff, and like I said, dementia and cardiovascular problems like in the long term. And I know that's not stuff that most people like me, age of 20, almost 21 now, think about, like breaking a bone at like the age of 50, but it's something you do have to think about because that's your future, it's your life. Like, I don't want to have the bones of an 80-year-old in 10, 20 years. So I decided to take matters into my own hands and learn how can I get my period back. And to do that, I bought this book, No Period, Now What? By Nicola J. Rinaldi. It's a book and guide to regaining your cycles and improving your fertility. And the reason I got this book is because I've seen several of my friends that I met through Instagram recommend it to me, and friends that have also struggled with eating disorders, hypothalamic amenorrhea, and who have actually got their cycles back thanks to following the advice in this book. So I ordered this book and I've been reading it, and I have learned so much. They explain what hypothalamic amenorrhea is, what causes it, like all the different factors that are involved in it, and they also set up this whole plan, like how to get your period back. And obviously it's like a whole book. Like, I cannot summarize the entire book in like 1 minute, but in short, they say to get your period back, regain your period, you need to eat more, probably gain weight, reduce stress, and exercise less, which is ultimately also reducing stress. And I wrote a blog post about this too, like how not having a period is not normal and how I got my period. And like, this is obviously all stuff I already knew, but just reading this book and also reading the experiences of so many other people that contributed to this book, I'm ready. Like, I'm gonna make a plan, and well, I've already made a plan obviously, and that's to get my period back. And to do that, I have made some commitments to myself that I will share with you right now. So in the book, they obviously mention all the dangers of not having your period, aside from like not being able to get children. I've already said this enough times in the video, but like osteoporosis, dementia, like Alzheimer's, cardiovascular diseases, and then again, the symptoms I've been experiencing the past couple of months, which were like just feeling exhausted, lack of motivation, just like less energy, poor sleep, all that kind of stuff. And to fix that, I am trying to gain weight. And I'm trying to gain weight because I know the weight that my body was at when it did get a period. Those 2 times, my body was at a certain weight, and my body is not currently at that weight. So even though I don't feel restricted, and even though I eat everything I want, I think I'm going to have to follow the advice in that book and kind of start really like force feeding myself a bit more to really gain that weight, because I may be fine now, I may be comfortable in my body, but clearly my body is not comfortable in me, others it would be getting a period. And of course, I also want to sleep better. I don't want to feel as exhausted during the daytime, and I just want to feel more free around just everything, I guess. So I'm going to try and gain weight, and to do that, like I said, I'm going to be continuing to eat how I eat, but I am going to really allow myself anything and everything, like to the max, like more than I'm doing now. So if I want a chocolate mug cake, like throw on some extra chocolate chips in there, put on some peanut butter, drizzle maple syrup on there, like add an extra 2 tablespoons of almond butter in that recipe, and the double chocolate mug cake, I will link that in description too. But just really eat more carbs, eat more fats, just indulge more, because I've got to be honest, like I do follow a really healthy diet and I like honor my cravings, but I could definitely be eating a lot more, like easily, because I love food. So, you know, this won't be a problem. Well, like, I think it will just really be a struggle for me mentally, because the weight gain in general, like that's just really hard for me. Like, I remember being at that weight that I did get my period the 2nd time and just being so uncomfortable with my body because none of my clothes fit. But then again, I'm going to follow my own advice and reread my coping with weight gain blog post, which I will also link in the description. A lot of blog post links, you guys, but I've written quite a bit of blog posts about this kind of stuff. So with that said, like, I kind of have to do this to like prove myself to you guys that it works, right? Like that it helps. Because as much as I'm trying to help you guys, I'm also helping myself. And that's not selfish, that's taking care of myself. And taking care of yourself is not selfish. So with that said, I will also be reducing the amount of intense exercise I do. So I absolutely love the gym, and especially with the gym opening back up again after quarantine, I just have been loving being back, just like moving my body, celebrating what it can do for me after just feeling so weak and tired and not strong for like all the years I was absorbed by my eating disorder. I love the gym so much, but what's really more important for me right now is to get my period back, balance out my hormones. So I definitely am not saying that I will not go to the gym at all anymore, because for my mental health, that's like also really important. But definitely just like reduce the intensity of my sessions. Definitely reduce cardio a lot. Like I've completely stopped going for runs as well. And yeah, just like really taking care of my body. And focusing and prioritizing getting my period back. So yeah, with all that said, I think that pretty much rounds off this video. I'm super sorry if it was like scattered or messy, but that's kind of how my brain is functioning right now, because there's a lot of emotions going through me right now. Like I'm super excited to start this new journey, and I'm super excited to just like regain my health back in like all the ways possible, and just recover my femaleness. I guess that sounds weird, but I'm also super nervous and I'm super scared, and I know it's gonna be really hard, and I know there's gonna be a lot of tears, but in the end it will be so worth it, just like with anything in life. So if this video made you smile or inspired you in any ways, please give it a thumbs up and like it. And if you're interested in any follow-ups, future videos like this, please subscribe to my channel. I know that it's like clicking two buttons to do these things, two things, but it really supports me and just inspires me to keep making content like this for you guys, to help inspiring. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!